Welcome back everybody, Gabriel Varga here. Why do we train? Fitness, enjoyment, the challenge, of course. But really, at the end of the day, we all want to get better and be the best at your gym, or the city, or maybe even your whole country, or some guys are even shooting to be the best in the whole world. I want to be the best, and today I'm going to show you 100% guaranteed way of becoming a better fighter. And you don't even have to go to the gym. So you guys should know my brother Aaron. We've been training together since he was 6, I was 8. Ever since I turned pro, he's been the guy who's helped sort of craft what we're going to do to prepare for each opponent, help me get ready through training camp, and be there for me fight night to make sure that I'm getting that win. Well, tomorrow, as a thank you, I'm going to take him to the big island of Hawaii. We're going to go over there, we're going to do some surfing, some sightseeing, obviously some snorkeling, and just check out all the sights and get him away on a trip that's not a fight trip where he doesn't have to stress about me, his brother, having to compete. So I'm looking forward to capturing some footage and sharing a video with you guys when we get back. So enough teasing. I know you guys are wondering, how am I going to become 100% guaranteed a better fighter? Here's the secret. Watch lots and lots of high-level fights. Now let me explain to you why this will help you and what you want to focus on and take away from your viewing experience every time you sit down and watch the world's best compete. And keep in mind, I actually credit this for being one of the main reasons that I learned so much and got to such a high level. At the end of my amateur career, I parted ways with my old coach. The learning curve had just plateaued out. So I started watching all the top fighters, Andy Sauer, Bacau, Masato, Albert Kraus, Arthur Kashenko, and as I watched these fights and I tried things at the gym, I felt like my learning curve just spiked. So I really credit my viewing experience of the world's best fighters, watching those fights over and over, as one of the main reasons that I've been so successful and been able to win all those belts behind me. Now, there's a little more to it than just sitting down watching a fight moving on, and I'm going to go through all the little details right now, starting with number 1. You need to learn how to string combinations together. And this is easier said than done, but when you watch the world's best, you're going to see each of them with their own way of throwing combinations. And from that, you should be able to start creating your own patterns and see what works for you. A lot of gyms have very specific combos that they work over and over, and that's great and fantastic, but I think you really need to try what works for you. If you like switching up levels, if you like attacking one level, if you want to throw a couple techniques, back away, move back in, maybe you just want to go on the attack and throw big 10-piece combinations. It's a difficult thing to figure out if you're not playing around with all the alternatives and everybody at your gym is doing the same thing. So watching those high-level fights will give you that experience of how other people let their combinations go and what you could possibly utilize in your own game. Number 2, you're going to definitely learn new techniques. Maybe not so much brand new things that you've never seen, but different ways of executing them, different ways of setting them up. And that is so important because the world's best don't just throw one technique from one position or just always use it offensively. You're going to see it used in a variety of ways. So when you're watching those fights, be mindful of whatever's being thrown, where they're being thrown from, and how you can utilize those again in your own game. One of the main reasons that I like watching high-level fights, especially when I was younger and I didn't have that competition that could push me that same way, or maybe sparring partners who could push me that same way, is the opportunity for my brain to work at the same speed at which those high-level fighters are competing at. If you watch high-level fights and let's say you choose to embody one of the fighters, as he's being offensive or defensive, you can start thinking in your mind, what would you be doing? Or if a shot is thrown at him, you can go, okay, this is the block I'd be doing really fast, and then I'd want to counter. Now, they might not utilize the same thing that you are, but your brain is firing, and it's going to make it that much easier when you get into the gym and spar, or when you fight, if you've actively been using that brain in other situations. I can't push this enough. I would say get in there, watch fights, and really get the brain ticking. The 4th reason that I love watching high-level fights, especially during the beginning of my career, is it helps you create your own style. And I'm not a big advocate for going to a specific gym and picking up their fight style, because that might not be the right game for you at all. You might go into a high-level gym, very high-level gym, but they want to teach you maybe lots of hands and combinations. But really, you'd be better suited with a Muay Thai base where you're throwing lots of kicks, clenching up and keeping people at a distance. No coach is going to be able to create the perfect style for you. I think it's really trial and error. And when you watch fighters, high-level fighters, do amazing things, you get inspired and you try those techniques. And they might work for you and they might not. And bit by bit, through process of elimination, you start creating your own style. And your own style that's unique only to you is what is going to really win you fights and help you become as great as you could possibly be. So remember, watch the fights, try the techniques, and then eliminate the ones that don't work. Coaches can't show you everything. That's not a fault of theirs. That's just the reality. And sometimes it's up to you to get in there and find new ways to learn. And watching those high-level fighters is a surefire way of becoming a better, more proficient athlete. So the next time you're sitting down and you're watching Bellator, Glory, UFC, high-level boxing fight, don't just sort of watch and let your mind sort of numb over or fuzz out. Try to put yourself in the body or the mind of one of those high-level fighters and get that brain activated. Every time you do that, I truly believe you are going to become a better fighter. And then you add in learning new techniques, learning to string combinations together, and starting to create your own style, and you can see why it's so important to get out there and watch really high-level fighters. It will make you a better fighter. Guaranteed, no question. All right, guys, a little bit of exciting news for me fight-wise. I can't release too many details right now, but I can tell you that after I get back from my trip in Hawaii, a new fight camp starts out. I'm super excited about this fight camp. I should be able to announce it within a couple weeks, so keep your ears open for that. And I can't wait to drop some big news. I'm gonna start packing for my trip to Hawaii. Until next time, guys, train hard, and I'll see you back here in 1 week.